Country star Marty Stuart has been photographed numerous times during his illustrious career, something that he can appreciate since he enjoys capturing images with his very own camera. Marty Stuart, the American Ballads, is an exhibit currently here at the Frist Center for the Visual Arts, and it is incredible. And Ellen Pryor is going to tell us all about it.
Well, welcome. We are so glad to have you here to see these magnificent photographs of one of Nashville's most beloved artists, Marty Stuart, here in the Conte Gallery, where people can just walk in off the street and see these wonderful, wonderful works free of charge.
Well, this particular exhibition is broken down into 3 categories. Let's start with the first one.
Sure. It's called The Masters, and a lot of people understand and know that Marty Stuart has been a photographer, and what he did in this section is really photograph those people he's closest to.
This one is one that immediately my heart melted, because he has got such a photographic eye, and his placement and just the way he was able to capture this photo of Bill Monroe.
It's wonderful. Yes, this is Bill Monroe playing to the chickens, and this is just one of the photographs. And Marty began playing with Lester Flatt when he was barely a teenager, when he was about 13 years old. And so that put him in the center of the music industry at that time. And he was a little boy, and so people really, really gravitated toward him. And he was able, from the inside, to capture really exquisitely intimate moments of his fellow musicians and performers.
Now, his mother, who was also a photographer, is sort of who inspired him, and she's got 4 photos.
She does. There are 4 of Hilda's works here, and she is an absolutely marvelous photographer. And when Marty was, I believe he was 13 or 14, he went to New York and saw the work of the very famous bassist Milt Hinton, who had photographed his fellow jazz players. And Marty looked at those photographs and said, you know, I think I can do that for the players who are around me. He called his mother and asked for a camera, and she sent him a camera.
And the rest is history. So, and then another one of the categories that I think is really, really quite fascinating is just, during his travels, he met some really interesting, fascinating people.
Well, of course, musicians of that time were road dogs. You know, they traveled on buses from place to place, and often to smaller communities. And the second section is called Blue Line Hot Shots. And blue line refers to the literal color of 2-lane roads on a map. And so these are some of the characters he ran into and met in his travels, and they're really, really marvelous. And so what you see in many of these photographs are people who had gone to those shows. And once again, because of Marty's celebrity, because they felt they knew him, they tended to open themselves to him and allow him to photograph them in pretty interesting ways. And always, I use the word dignity a lot in looking at all of these photographs. And there are great characters, but there is a lot of grace and dignity in his subject matter.
Absolutely. And then finally, he had a real connection with the Lakota tribe, and he has got a great, great part of this exhibition that features so many of them.
Yes, and this third series, third in the exhibition, third part of this exhibition is called Badlands. And he first went to the Pine Ridge Reservation with Johnny Cash. And met the Lakota, and over the years became very close to them, and in fact became a member, an honorary member of the tribe, and very close, and great warmth and friendship between Marty and the people on the Pine Ridge Reservation. And once again, I use the word dignity. You can look at these marvelous photographs and understand the love he has for the people and the place.
Wow. Well, we've only touched the surface. Gosh, this is really, really incredible. He is so talented, and I just encourage everybody to come out and see this. It's going to be here through November the 2nd?
Through November 2nd, and we're open 7 days a week, and on Thursday and Friday nights we're open until 9, and kids 18 and under are always free, but this gallery is free always.
Always. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Thank you all so much for being here.